So if we're talking about exercises, yeah, just a quick little side note about guitar exercises. If we're talking just something to improve alternate picking, let's start with something that I used to practice all the time, and I keep recommending this exercise to people basically constantly. If you've seen the Paul Gilbert instructional video, the exercise that I always recommend that people well, maybe not start with, but definitely practice if they've already have some grasp of playing between different strings, because it's a pretty easy one. It's the one that Paul Gilbert has actually shown off in his intense rock tapes back in the day. It's this whole thing over here. So it's kind of like, it's a very simple variation. You just start on the B string, although right now I'm tuned down half a step, but you get it. You start on the B string 12th fret, and you just go 12, 13, 15. Obviously down, up, down on the pick strokes. And then you just do an upstroke on the 12th fret on the E string. So that's the whole thing really, and then you just go back. It actually is, when you're first starting to do it, it doesn't seem very difficult, but as you're increasing the tempo, it gets really, really tricky at times. And then gradually you start adding little accents. Yeah, exactly, 12, 13, 15 on B and 12 on E. That's it, that's the one. And you just go basically up and down. So you go, with pick strokes, you go down, up, and then again down, up, down. And there you go, it just repeats the, repeats the pattern. And once you're comfortable with this thing, you can do a little variation, just play it like, repeat the last two notes you repeat. Like that. So it's like... which is also really cool. And I think the next stage, the next natural progression, stage of the progression, is to do the whole thing like this. Which is probably the hardest thing to do, because you're playing the entire scale fragment. You're playing from 12, 13, and 15 on B, and then 12, 14, 15 on E. Which is quite difficult to do at speed if you're doing it like as a cycle. But that's really what you should be aiming for. This particular segment is something that really got me to get alternate picking better, especially between two adjacent strings. Yeah, exactly. It actually sounds, that's very much a Dorian mode. You can even think of it as a B Dorian, actually. Because if we're playing just these notes, with B as the root, that would be B Phrygian, yeah. And that's between two different strings, something you should definitely work on. So let me recap once again. So the first one is just this. Then you do a little variation when you repeat the last two notes. Anyway, and then of course the last variation is... that's like it's a segment of E minor scale technically, because it's like the, the top two strings of this shape. And then just one other thing I want to mention. If you want to practice though, for instance, getting faster on a single string, the best pattern I know for this, which I think every single shred guitar player utilizes, including Yngwie, Paul Gilbert, just about everyone you can think of, it's this whole thing on a single string. So this one is, so you go 15, 12, and then 14, 15, 14, 12. So again, so 15, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12, I think. Yeah, right? 15, 12. Yeah, 15, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12, yeah. This is the kind of pattern that you hear Yngwie, for instance, do all the time. He just is constantly using this. And other guys as well. And it's really good for both alternate picking, because actually getting this clean when you're alternate picking is not that easy. Let me just slow it down a little bit. And you obviously, you start on the downstroke, of course. Always start down. And it's especially good because a lot of guitar players, I've seen this myself quite a lot, tend to neglect exercising their pinky. They feel like it's the hardest finger to get to, basically to comply with whatever you want it to do. And this is a great exercise for getting your pinky to work. Because you're basically shifting between the pinky and the ring finger here. It really is quite difficult at first. And then, of course, you can, if you know your E minor scale across, basically along the E string, you can also move that same pattern just on a single string. That's like Yngwie, instant Yngwie right there. So yeah, that's something you should work on. And yeah, I hope that helps. These are definitely my top exercises for increasing your picking speed and precision when it comes to alternate picking. That's definitely something you should try. It will certainly help. Just remember not to give up on it too quickly. You do have to stick with it for quite a long time. Ideally, you should practice this at least like 10 minutes every day. Not a very long time per day, but at least 10 minutes every day. Doesn't mean 10 minutes in a row, by the way. You can go, let's say, for like a minute or even 30 seconds at first. Take a little break after that. It can be another minute of a break if you want. But try to fit like maybe five reps of this, let's say 5 reps of 30 seconds within a 10-minute segment, and that will work really well. So yeah. Yeah, seriously, if you have time, just remember, if you feel any kind of pain, any kind of tension, this is something I brush up against a lot. I even had an injury in my wrist, kind of a chronic one that I've been battling for quite a long time at this point. That's one of the reasons I take such regular breaks on stream, is because I need to make sure that I don't overload my wrist. So again, if you feel any tension, any discomfort, just stop playing for a while. Seriously, don't force it. Don't continue playing once you're feeling any pain. Trust me, these injuries are really difficult to heal. They're really annoying, they can be really painful, and they can stop you from playing guitar for months, as it has happened to me a couple of times already. So just don't get it to that stage, yeah? Just try to be more measured, and then you're gonna enjoy it more, trust me. If there is no pain, it's just so much better to play. So there we go. Just something I wanted to share. It's probably the most important bit of advice for anyone out there who plays guitar, or any other instrument for that matter. Don't play when it hurts. Rest yourself a little bit if you feel any pain or tension, and once you're feeling like you're okay, then get back to it.